Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday night case updates already. Man, this week is going.
Isn't it? Just flying by.
It is going crazy for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, how's it going? What you been up to today?
Good. I have been working on this transition that we're making with the psychic hour. So, if you've listened recently, you know that the psychic hour is going behind our paywall, but we're making it super easy to get to it and affordable. And so I've had a lot of fun with it. I did figure out today how to stream it direct to Patreon. So if you are one of our patrons, you will just get it automatically. It will stream there each week when we do it. And getting the new subscription set up, it's 99 cents a month if you want to sign up for the Psychic Hour by itself on YouTube. And you'll be able to do that. I don't think you can do it right now. It's under review with YouTube, but you'll be able to do it tomorrow. Or if you are already part of the Cold Read Party crew here on YouTube, you will get it automatically. So there will be notifications that go out. You'll see them prior to. It will be at the same time. You will just either go to our YouTube channel or to our Patreon channel in order to watch it. So I spent a bunch of time today figuring that out. I even tested it with a test live stream and brought it in on Patreon, and it worked, and I'm really excited. So
excellent. Look at you. Look at you.
Got it.
You're rocking the hizzle.
You just watch out, technology, because I win every time.
That's right.
I should never say that out loud. Ever.
Right. Please. I don't know, salt, wood, something.
Knock on wood, something, yes. Yeah.
Well, good job. You are awesome. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I am too. I want to make sure that we don't lose anybody. It's just going to be slightly different.
Yep. It is good. It is a good change, but yes, it's change nonetheless. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. Cammie, I am feeling okay. Have the same symptoms I've had for a while. Nothing's significantly changed. We just know what it is now, and I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah.
And Cammie, how are you feeling? Cammie has the other big C.
Oh, you do? You have COVID? Oh.
Forgot the vid. Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Right? No kidding.
Been there, done that. Not fun.
No. Well, I am crazy excited because I found someone in a neighboring town that is selling their entire sublimation business.
Wow.
And yeah, with the printer I have always wanted. That's really, really hard to get.
That's so cool.
The big printer. I'm so excited. Also, just lots of tools and things that I either don't have or what I have was the cheapest shit I could buy. And this is better.
Nice.
It's good. And tons of blanks. Like it's really fun. It's exciting. So when the show's over, I get to go drive a ways to meet her and get my stuff. So
that's so cool.
Beyond excited. Fun. Yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, Cammie, I'm sorry. She is feeling rough. Dang it. Stupid COVID.
Yeah, that damn COVID. Oof, not fun.
Yeah. Want to welcome Alifair, Cranky, Colleen, Janie, Amy, Fran, Paula, Barbara, Cammie, Spirit, RJ, Jody, Aaron. I think I got everybody. Sublimation is the printing process that I do. I'll show you. Actually, I had these out to show off on my other show yesterday, but these are baby blankets I just made.
Oh yeah,
for a cousin's baby. I don't know how well you can see them, but
cute.
Yeah, they're all personalized with her name on them.
I think that's really neat.
It's a printing and pressing process. Yeah.
Aw.
Isn't that sweet? But see
Yes.
that line on that elephant? Well,
Uh-huh.
that'll never happen again with the new printer.
Oh, you can print bigger images. Nice.
Yeah, way bigger images. So, anyway, yes, the crafting geek is going crazy in me, so I'm very excited.
I bet.
Yeah. So that's what's up. I know, aren't they sweet? They're so sweet. I know.
Mhm. They are. They're darling.
And now well, we have no babies in this family anymore.
No. And hopefully we don't have any for a while.
Right, like our
Not
younger set, they have life to live.
yeah, life to live, college to
Mhm.
do, stuff like that. Just no.
My 2 older kids are both like, "I don't know if I ever want kids." And I'm like, everyone says that, but I'm not so sure," you know? They're both kinda like, "This world's too F to bring kids into."
Yeah, I think our younger generation is feeling that.
Mhm.
Like, do you wanna
Can't
bring
really
kids into
blame
this
them,
crazy situation?
right?
I don't know.
Well, plus they're so the whole abortion thing right now has them pretty freaked out in general, and the
Mhm.
thought of losing access to birth control, and
Right.
I don't know, we'll see what the younger set does. We're
Maybe
gonna
they'll
see
just
a
all
lot of
adopt.
young men get vasectomies. That's what's happening, actually, is a lot of young men are getting vasectomy.
Mhm.
Yep,
I think they're
yep,
wise.
yep. Cranky said, "I never had kids, and I am so happy I am Gen X." There you go.
Mhm.
So
Gen X
Gen
here
Z,
too.
yeah, Gen X here. Gen Z has been raising hell for years politically, right? As
Yeah. Seen some great
as a
stuff.
politician, if you get on the wrong side of some Gen Zers, you're
Mhm.
screwed. So,
Well, particularly with the wonderful creation of TikTok,
oh man.
where Gen Zers
Woo!
multiply and fight the
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
Love it.
There's a thing happening right now on Twitter that is so funny, and it is, why can't I say his name?
Matt Gates.
Matt Gaetz. I was gonna say that's how insignificant he is. Matt Gaetz has been saying, he said it once, people loved it so much that now he can't quit saying it, that, all of the women that are protesting abortion rights are just a bunch of fat, ugly women that nobody would have sex with anyway, so they really should just quit worrying about it.
Yeah, that little
Mhm.
weasel.
So this teenager, yep, Olivia Juliana, good job, Cranky. Um, he called her out personally after the altercation of sorts, a word altercation with her.
Mhm.
And she's a teenager who is heavy set, and he called a teenager out and called her fat and ugly, basically, because that's how grown up Matt Gates is.
Classy.
So
Classy.
she decided that she would just, and she's an activist in Texas, and so she decided to just run with it. Well, in the last 48 hours, she has raised over $300,000 to help fighting for reproductive rights, and has two hashtags trending that have been posted countless times now. The first one being Matt Gates supports abortion because, he was the catalyst for her being able to fundraise for all of this money.
Right.
And then Matt Gates is triggered.
Love it.
There was a bill that went through Congress yesterday, a bill to help in the fight against human trafficking. And Matt Gates voted against it,
Well, of
along
course
with
he did. He's
17 other
he's
senators.
currently
Yeah.
charged with trafficking.
Mhm.
Oh, such a oof.
But, he's just the latest casualty to Gen Z. You fuck them up and you're done. That's it.
Mhm. Yep. I know. I think it's so great.
Yeah.
I just yes, we need to be watching these kids and taking notes because
Mhm.
they know what they're doing.
Mhm. Totally.
Maddie McForehead is a puke and a pedo, says
He
Cranky.
is. Yep. He
Yes, he
is. Yep.
is.
Okay.
Mhm. He's
Renee.
atop my FOS list right now.
He really is. Those comments are so gross. And now all of these women are repeating them. Like this is a funny new marching cry. And I'm like, really? Or rallying cry? Really? Really?
Mm.
Anyway, disgusted. But
Misogyny in women, man, it's a scary
yeah,
thing.
women, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Renee said, I may miss the first Thursday show in August, but I will be able to listen after that. If I miss the first live, can I hear it later? Yeah, absolutely. It'll
Yeah,
just show up as in your archives.
yeah, I believe so.
So, yeah.
Whether you watch it on YouTube or depending on where you're going to subscribe, but one or the other.
Yep. For sure. Well, should we tear into it? We've got all kinds of stuff to do.
We've got some interesting stuff.
We really do. I think I'm just going to start with Daybell.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. My God.
There's a few things with Daybell. First of all, a listener, we have had a spotting of Mr. Pearl Clutcher himself.
Oh.
Shopping in the Winco.
Here? The Winco here in IF? Oh.
No.
Oh,
no.
Where he lives?
In the Boise area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Yep. John Pryor shopping in Venmo. Shopping in I saw Colleen's a comment about Venmo. Yes, shopping in the Winco, cruising along. It was interesting. We've seen him so many times so red-faced and talked about, is the dude a drinker? Does he have a high blood pressure problem? Is this just his complexion? Like, why is he so red-faced?
Right. Well, he looks like his head's going to explode at any moment.
Well, and he gets more and more purple when he's mad in court. But he was real red-faced just walking in Winco.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cranky wants to know if he was voluminously shopping.
I would imagine. I don't know. We didn't get a report about what was in the cart. That would have been telling, right?
That would have been very telling, yeah.
Was this boxes of wine and Twinkies, or was it something else?
Franzia. I'm sure it's Franzia. That's the whole problem.
But there you go. Yeah.
Love it.
Anyway, we also heard a report. We've had lots of gossip coming through lately on the Daybell case. We also heard that Emma and her husband have moved to Utah, or are in the process of moving to Utah, which is really interesting to me because what's going on with that house? So the youngest son, Mark, was living there too, to the best of our knowledge, as well, of course, as Emma and Joseph and their child. And if they're moving, is everyone moving out? Is that house about to be sold, or has it been seized, or like what's happening with the house?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah.
How they have stood to live there this long, I do not know.
Yeah. Not me neither. I don't know how they lived there for a minute, but
we do have some suggestions of what was in Mark Means's carts.
Cammy wondered about lotion and Kleenex.
Oh, yuck.
Cranky wondered about this isn't Mark Means, it's John Pryor.
Yeah, John Pryor.
A bag of crack apples. He wanted another crack at the apple, did he? That could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Could be any of these things and probably worse.
Probably, yes. Any news about Mark Means? There had been rumors that he had moved out of state. I haven't heard shit about Mark Means in months.
Quite sure he did
posted on Twitter in a while.
Missouri.
Nothing.
I think he's laying low.
Yeah. I think
he's laying low for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Hoping that the state bar doesn't catch up with him, maybe?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, he actually tweeted.
Oh.
He tweeted on July 13th. It was a retweet of an article about Johnny Depp's legal team says Amber Heard's requests for a mistrial verge into the frivolous. And his comment was...
Mr. Means would know, wouldn't he?
Well, this is typical Mark Means. It's nonsensical because he didn't spell check. Or, quality check. Frivolous is way of saying Depp's team wants attorney fees costs from Heard's lawyers.
Okay.
So do what you will with that. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And yes, Brandy Pryor is on the deed of the Daybell house.
The docket commented, besides that, what have you been doing to keep busy? Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Colleen trolls him on Twitter. Good to know. I do too. I have my notifications turned on for him. So if he tweets, I generally know.
Mhm. Yep. He also tweeted something about what the LDS church says about abortion.
Hmm.
I I don't know. That's what he's been tweeting. That's all we know.
Hmm. Well, I do wonder if they're selling the house. If the
It
house has got
really
to be
makes you
sold
wonder. Mhm.
for Chad's legal fees.
Yeah, Pryor's on the deed. He's the only one on the deed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're selling the house to fund his because I mean they're looking now at having to fund like expert witnesses and stuff
Right.
with
And
zero money.
DNA tests and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
experts, yeah, when they do that DNA testing, they're going to have an expert there
Mhm.
wherever they do it and they're going to have to pay for that.
Mhm. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to sell it at all. So
Mm-mm.
our best idea is that Pryor is in charge of Chad's estate.
Mhm.
So no, they wouldn't be able to sell it without Pryor's permission. Yeah, maybe
Right.
he kicked them out. That was what we wondered. Did he kick them out?
Mhm. Maybe. And maybe they've just got to have the money from that house to continue to fund his defense.
But I also wonder if they've struggled to find and keep work here,
Yeah,
if
I
they
bet
really
they have.
needed to move away. I would think that they would need to move away. So
Well, and who's going to buy this house? S- I have two thoughts.
somebody buys this house and makes like a horror show out of it, that would be really terrible.
Right. See, that I think it's one of two things. Someone from
Murderabilia
out of
type
the area that
thing.
doesn't know anything about it,
Mhm.
or some creepy murderabilia person
That's what
that
I worry about, that
would,
that's what this is about.
like create
Mhm.
something creepy. Yeah, both
Mhm.
make I'd feel bad for anybody that bought the house that didn't know and that was moving into the area and had no idea.
Right.
But yeah, it could be, that murderabilia stuff gets real intense, and there are people who buy houses where terrible
Mhm.
things have happened on purpose.
Oh, on purpose, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, ick and ooh.
yeah.
And actually, on that note, speaking of ick and ooh, let's talk about Charles Manson.
Yeah, oh my god, there's so much weird shit going on with his estate. What the hell?
So, when Manson died, there was a big legal battle over his body
Right.
back in 2017. So, two different men emerged that said that they were, one said he was a son, the other said he was a grandson. Another woman who said she was a daughter, but she didn't emerge until late, or a sister. She didn't emerge until later. And then two other men who claimed to have a claim to his estate. That one of them is a very long-term pen pal, and the other is a collector of murderabilia. They all tried to claim Manson's body. Uh,
What
hard
the
ick.
hell?
Yeah.
Why would anyone want Manson's body? Why would you want to admit to anyone that you were his kid or his grandkid? And a pen pal thinks that he has a right to his what?
Well, the pen pal will get there. It gets interesting. But so here's what happened. A man named Jason Freeman, who claims to be a grandson, whose father's name is Charles Manson Jr.
Oh god.
I
Wouldn't you change that if that was your name? Wouldn't you,
right?
like, stat legally change it?
Well, you notice he goes by Freeman.
Yeah, I would.
He won the
Oof.
right to his grandfather's body. The right. He said they acted like ninjas. This is back in 2018. They acted like ninjas to keep the funeral in Porterville, California from gaining attention. Only 20 people came. Sandra Good, who was a member of the original Manson family, she was there. She wasn't a part of the killings, but she was a part of their bullshit. But
Right.
she kept his environmental directive going: air, trees, water, and animals.
Mm.
So his body was dressed in an orange ATWA t shirt for the funeral. And then he was cremated and spread over a hill in California. Afton Burton was there. She was his fiance in 2014.
Oh, good god.
She's only 53 years younger than Manson. It's
Are
all.
you kidding me? What?
They were engaged for just a minute.
Listen, lady, you need
Yes.
therapy, medication,
hmm
something.
But
Oh,
here's what really
gross.
got me. So it was a 4-month court battle before they could get a hold of the body.
Ugh.
So during the court fight, Freeman and a probate attorney talked about Manson's body being kept on ice by the Kern County coroner. But the
Ugh.
funeral home told Freeman that they had a mess on their hands and there was gross neglect to the corpse.
Ooh,
It was in
ooh.
storage for 4 months.
But it should have been like frozen or something, right?
He said it was clear to him his grandfather had not been properly stored. Aw. Oh,
Darn. You mean Manson was
no.
treated disrespectfully?
Mm.
That's such a tragedy.
Yep. However, Kern
Yikes.
County said
Gross.
Manson's body wasn't treated any differently than any other. So maybe that should be a concern to us all.
Yeah, I'm afraid. So,
So Freeman, the grandson, is also a devout Christian and had a local pastor lead the service. Like, why did this dude have a service at all?
right.
Why at all? So his father, Charles Manson Jr., commits suicide when he was a little boy.
Wow.
This was just Charles Manson left nothing but destruction in his wake. Nothing.
Right.
So anyway, all that happened in 2018.
Oh,
Well,
Allie Fair has explained it to us.
oh,
Bodies still decay in the fridge like steak. Oh,
oh,
thank you. Terrible visual,
okay.
but yes, thank you. That does make sense. Okay.
There you go. Now you know. Well, fast forward now to 2022. There has been a woman as a part of the fight over his estate who claims to be his sister. And she just today withdrew herself from the dispute. So now Jason Freeman, the supposed grandson, and I don't know why they keep calling him supposed because it looks to me like they've determined he's the grandson. We're just going to say that the
Okay.
grandson, as well as a man named Michael Channels, who is the pen pal, and he says that he has a will and that he is the inheritor of the state. So now they both have to fight it out to decide who gets to get his estate. What is in his estate, you may wonder?
Yeah,
Someone who died in prison, what would be in his estate?
right. What would be in his estate?
Well, not much, but his writings.
Oh, gross. They won't.
So, all of his writings, all of the madness that he wrote while he was in prison, that's really what's up for grabs. There's a little bit of clothing, and that's pretty much it. But it's
So
the
this is
writings.
about money. They want the rights to the things he wrote so they can publish them.
Yes, I
Yuck.
think so.
Ugh.
So, Channel's attorney says they have a handwriting expert ready to testify that it is Manson's handwriting on the will. Of course, the
But
other
was it
attorney says,
notarized and like
right. And also,
legal?
did he have the right to write a will while he was in prison? Maybe he did.
I would think yes, that you
hmm
could. Yeah.
So here's what Channels says. He became my friend over 30 years ago. And back when I saw a person in him where others just saw some sideshow. No, Channels, they saw a murderer.
Yeah.
Channels wrote to the Times in an email. Manson has always been someone's whipping boy or source of revenue from television or newspapers all his life.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
yeah. So I know it's hard for anyone to understand, but I never wanted anything from him. He says he doesn't want his stuff to monetize it in any way. He just wants his stuff
Bullshit.
because he wants to protect his things. Yeah,
Bullshit. There is no way he's not going to immediately, whoever gets that stuff is going to print it.
right. Yeah, and ownership of his likeness, Aaron. Yeah, all of it. Yeah. So anyway,
Good
apparently
Lord.
there's, the sister or supposed sister or whatever has stepped out. So there's one less person in line to the crown or to the throne, but now these two still have to fight it out. So we'll keep an eye on this disgusting situation and let you know.
Right. Like Paula says, if it were my relative, I would want those things so I would know they had been destroyed, right? Just
Yeah,
burn it all, man.
for sure. So, Kristi, do you want to talk to us about Cheeto Cheeto?
Oh, Cheeto.
Cheeto Cheeto. Yes.
Yeah. So we did an episode on Cheeto Asuncion, who is a serial killer in Hawaii.
Yeah.
He is sitting in jail. He has been denied any bail.
Yeah.
And so if you remember, he murdered two people and injured and attempted to murder two others. These were knife crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he has been in court. He's being evaluated or examined. I combined those words.
She said, hurry.
Yeah. So basically, he is being held without bail.
Yeah.
And court is basically suspended right now while they determine his fitness to stand trial. So he's just sitting. They will not allow him to bond out. And then they're just going to, they don't even want to move forward with anything until they know, is this guy even competent to stand trial? So that's kind of where it's at. But we had talked about him, and I wanted to just update that he's just chilling in jail while they do their evaluations with him. Because there are real questions about if he actually can stand trial at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not surprising looking at his pictures. Yikes.
Right?
He does not look like he's got it all together. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, let's talk just a little bit about the murderer or the accused murderer, sorry, of Jay Lee,
Yes.
Tim Herrington. So our episode today was about Jay Lee's murder, and Tim Herrington, who has been charged with his murder, was in court today. Should have been on a bond hearing, and the defense asked for more time, so he'll stay in jail for 2 more weeks until they meet yet again to decide on August 9th what bond will be. And that's about all that happened. The judge allowed filming in the courtroom with no sound.
That's weird. What's the point of that?
Well, apparently in Mississippi, they typically do not allow cameras in the courtroom for any reason.
Oh, okay.
And so this was a stretch of the rules in the first place to allow any of that. But yeah, so filming
Video
but
with
no
no
sound.
audio. We're supposed to lip read the whole time? Is that
Apparently
the deal?
so. So we were hoping there might be a little bit more info start rolling out about what evidence they have to charge this guy. They have no body. So they must have something pretty big, but nothing at all. So we'll just keep an eye on that and see it roll forward. What we do know is that he is from a very wealthy and well-connected family, and his uncle is potentially one of the attorneys that is representing him. The other attorney, the one that was in the courtroom with him today, is a legislator in their state and is really billed as like one of the top lawyers in the state. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
really
it is.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't often see somebody accused of a murder like this who has like that kind of legal representation.
Mm-mm.
That's interesting.
Yep. Again, makes me go, they must really have some evidence here.
They've got to, because they have no body,
Yeah.
but they're still. I can answer the JonBenet question in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
If you want me to.
Yes, please.
I know that wasn't on our list, and I realize it should have been. So what's happening is there's a real push to do genealogical DNA with the DNA from the JonBenet Ramsey case. And Cece Moore, who is the geneticist at Parabon that has solved a bunch of murders lately, wants to do the genealogical DNA, build the family tree backwards kind of thing. And so kind of waiting to see if that's going to be allowed. We're hoping it will be. She could solve the JonBenet Ramsey case. Would Cece Moore be the biggest hero ever if she solved the
I mean, in my
JonBenet
mind,
Ramsey
he
case?
already is, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cece Moore is a badass.
Mhm.
But to be able to solve JonBenet with this technique would be
Mhm.
amazing. Right. You're right, Janet. Boulder police do need to suck it up and let this be solved and just
Mhm.
acknowledge that they fucked it up royally, and we all
Mhm.
know they did.
Right.
But yeah, this is big. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. I've been keeping an eye
Yeah.
on it. And we send messages back and forth to each other on Wednesdays about what we want to talk about on this show. And
Mhm.
I had already read a bunch of the Jean Benet stuff, and then I didn't send it because I don't know.
Well, that's okay. We got there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Well, on that note, tell us tell us about the new life of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh, well, I mean, can we all just breathe a sigh of relief that she is finally in prison?
Mhm.
So she has been moved to a low security prison in Florida
Mhm.
for her 20-year sentence. Of course, she's going to appeal and blah, 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 but
Mhm.
she is already listed as an inmate at
Mhm.
the Federal Correctional Institute in Tallahassee, Florida. She was moved last Friday, it's believed.
Yep.
This is not the facility that her attorneys requested. They wanted her to go to Danbury, Connecticut. I can only
Oh
imagine
gosh.
what a
Mhm.
cushy little prison that is. Um,
Mhm. Still though, this is not where hardened criminals go at
right.
all, where she's going. Yeah.
So they talked this article, ABC News talked to a federal prosecutor, a former federal prosecutor named Duncan Levin. And Duncan said, there's nothing cushy about Maxwell's designation. She is going to be surrounded by barbed wire and fences. Her new facility is a far cry from the minimum security camps that people may imagine from television, and probably that place in Connecticut where she wanted to go.
Well, good.
So you
Good, good.
can imagine what kind of bitching there is going to be
Oh,
about her treatment, because trafficking children to sex offenders, apparently in her mind, still not that big of a deal.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, also, the programs that will be offered to her will be few and far between given staff cutbacks and the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's a shame because the government should be investing as much as possible to rehabilitate even the least popular inmates. Oh, please. There will be no rehabilitation of Ghislaine F. Maxwell, okay? She is high on the FOS list, although I've never been to Tallahassee, so it'll probably never happen. But yeah, Ghislaine is going to be the next Florida man, right?
It kind of seems that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just glad she's finally got her ass in prison.
Yes.
So
100%.
maybe we'll hear less about her. I kind of doubt it because her attorneys
Mhm.
never shut up. Neither do her siblings.
No. They just are appalled at the way she has been treated.
Ugh.
Oh, gosh. Shut up.
If you could be
Yeah.
appalled at the way even one of her victims has been treated, I might feel differently. But you're
Yeah.
not, you
Not in the
jackasses.
very least.
Yeah.
Well, good. And I just really expect that any attempts, for moving forward, I don't think that any of these attempts to appeal are going to gain any momentum at all.
They're not. They're not. I mean, I think the only legit one they had was that question about that juror,
Yeah.
and the judge didn't bite on it. I just don't think this is going to go anywhere. She did it.
Yeah.
We all know she did it. She's an arrogant bitch and she needs to
Mm-hmm.
go to prison.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only solution here.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, let's change gears and talk for a minute about Craig Rowland.
Craig Rowland, Bingham County, former Bingham County sheriff. We have talked about Craig here
And wait,
several
wait.
times.
I believe what did we call him? A gelatinous bag of rotting fish guts. Craig
Yeah,
Rowland.
gelatinous bag of rotting fish guts, Craig Rowland,
Yeah.
former sheriff of Bingham County, Idaho, which is just one county over from me,
Mm-hmm.
has finally chosen to resign as sheriff. He's held on for a long time because he was his crime happened in November of 2021. He finally he's getting a new attorney
Mhm.
because his current attorney they had some communication breakdowns, which I think is probably Craig Rowland saying, I didn't do anything wrong and I'm not going to jail. And his
Mhm.
attorney going, you probably need to be a little more realistic here.
Mhm.
He has been given a court date, a trial
Mhm.
date, which is in October. Can't wait for that. And
Mhm.
he is finally resigning as sheriff so that
Yes.
Bingham County, because still been the sheriff, but he has also been on leave. So Bingham County has no sheriff.
Mhm. Oh,
Not
and
good.
also is unable to carry a firearm.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he's facing firearm charges. So,
Mhm.
bye-bye, Craig. We
So
don't need
I
your
really
bullshit.
think that this is the beginning of Craig taking a plea. This is what I think.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that he was told he was gonna have to resign before he could do that. And
yep.
so this is the slow march.
Well, if he's got a half a brain, he would,
Well, he's
because he's
old
charged with 2 felonies.
and shouldn't be in prison because he has put lots of people in prison. And
Right, for his own safety, you'd think he would try not to go to
Mhm.
prison.
My thinking is that he's finally starting to at least see some of the writing on the wall and is going to try to plead these down to avoid prison or to get a recommendation for some kind of a house incarceration for a time or something to keep him out of prison. That's what I'm thinking is really happening here.
I
But
would think so, but, he fired his attorney quit because of communication issues, but I imagine that attorney was trying to convince him to take a plea deal. So,
uh-huh.
we'll see if he goes to trial in October, but, happy to see that the Good Old Boys Club is not functioning for this idiot.
Mhm.
It started out that way,
Yeah, it did.
but,
I mean, he got away with this for a minute.
he did. He did. Not anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to see that his community that elected him wanted him out, and that
Mhm.
we're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior from law enforcement or
Yep.
anyone. You don't get to assault a woman and a group of teenage girls who are out just doing a
Uh-huh.
nice thing
With a gun and
with
be
a gun,
terrifying. Yep, and just get
threaten them,
away with
scare them.
it.
He physically assaulted the woman. He drug her out of the car by her hair.
Yeah.
She
Pinned
happens
her
to
to
be
the
his
hood.
neighbor.
Yeah, put a gun to her head.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. Well, good. You guys
yep.
remember how I think it was just last week we said we felt like maybe Alex Murdaugh was going for the world's record of most charges.
Right?
Well, Robert Crimo said, "Hold my beer."
Right.
He has been indicted today for 117 counts. This, of course, this is the guy who, this is the parade shooter from the 4th of July,
Yeah.
from the Highland Park shooting. 117 counts. So 21 counts of
Golly.
murder includes 3 counts of murder for each of the people who died, as well as, and of course all of them were listed, but 48 other individuals by name on charges of shooting them with a firearm while knowing such an act created a strong probability of death or great bodily harm.
Mhm.
So 48 counts of attempted murder in the first
Mm.
degree and 48 charges of aggravated battery with a firearm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So this is marching forward in a big, big way.
Yes, it is.
Some of the oh, why was he given 3 counts of first degree murder for each victim? Janet, it's been a little unclear why, except for that there's probably conspiracy there as well.
Well, and there's probably different levels of murder charge. Like they do that a lot now. Like
Mhm.
a jury will be are they going to charge him with first degree, second degree? Is this going to be manslaughter? And then they have
Mhm.
the gun charges. So is this first degree murder, or is this, murder in the commission of a felony,
Mhm.
which is felony murder? Like basically they're going to hit him with every charge they can think of and
Mhm.
let the jury decide which one
Which one to
is the
assign?
most fitting.
Okay, that makes sense.
We've seen a
That
lot
makes
of that
sense.
lately.
Yeah, we have. We have. So there you have it. There was also something filed that had to do with his mental health, and his attorneys had filed to have those documents sealed due to his HIPAA rights. No big
Mm.
surprise there. And that happened. Hey, Kristi, and good night, Renee. So yeah, that's it. Yep, what a damn coward for sure, Colleen.
Oh,
So that's yeah, 117. Whew.
yeah, even beat Alex Murdaugh, and that's saying something. And this is not a
Right?
good game to win.
No,
Ugh.
no, it's not. Except for that, his were all at the same time versus Alex, who have been over the scope of several years. Anyway, different crimes, some murder for both of them, though.
Mhm,
But anyway, interesting stuff. Let's see. Let me get back to our list. Christy,
mhm.
talk to us about the authors event, the true crime event that had to be canceled.
Oh my gosh, you guys, sometimes I just question what the hell is happening. So, you may remember this. Tony Costa was a serial killer more than 50 years ago now, in Provincetown, Massachusetts. And there have been he took his own life in 1974 in prison, but he was convicted in 1969 of dismembering two women, and there was suspicion that he killed at least six others.
Mm-hmm.
So two books have recently been written by him about him. One is called The Babysitter: My Summers with a Serial Killer. This is by Liza Rodman,
Mm-hmm.
and she literally was babysat by him. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's just telling her story, her experiences with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jennifer Jordan in 2021 published Helltown: The Untold Story of a Serial Killer on Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, that no, I'm sorry. The babysitter book was Liza Rodman and Jennifer Jordan wrote it together. Untold Story on Cape Cod was Casey Sherman. So there are these two books about him. Well, they wanted to hold like a book event with these two around these two books there on Cape Cod where he had murdered people. They were, trying to get interest around for their books in the bookstores there because this was a local case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there has been such a huge outcry and online bullying and threats to these authors and the bookstore that
Mm-hmm.
they have had to cancel these book events.
Yeah.
Now, you would think, who's mad about this? You know who's mad about this? Friends of Tony Costa.
Yeah.
Like this, it's people that were in support of him.
Yeah.
Is that just beyond the pale here? What in the, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, friends and family of him. This wasn't about families of the victims.
No.
This wasn't about the community. This
No.
is friends and family of this serial murderer.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
How does he
Ugh,
have family and friends left? How does he
I
have
don't know.
anyone claiming him in any way? How?
Right. And why would you? Why would you? Like, he was convicted of these murders. He did it. Was a serial killer. Really creepy, scary stuff. But they were shaken up by the threats and stuff
Mm-hmm.
enough that they actually canceled the whole event.
Isn't
Which
that
is just
sad?
it is sad because I think it's really scary.
Well, it's sad
What's
for
going
the
on with these
victims'
people?
families who were seen. The victims were
Right.
seen. Their lives were seen and mattered, and these guys shut that
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
Yet again, they were not seen thanks to this kind of stuff.
Right. Just so weird.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap us up tonight. with a
Yeah.
story that will blow your damn mind.
Oh my God. This makes me physically ill.
So, this happened in Indiana. And there was an incident in Indiana in a jail where there is a women's wing and a men's wing. And on the night of October 24th, 2001, one of the jailers sold a key to enter the women's side to the inmates, the male inmates,
This is
and let them
unfathomable.
go in there. And then completely failed to notice, even though there's lots of cameras in there and, supposedly guards on duty, no one noticed that a bunch of men from the men's side were in the women's side raping all of the women.
It's horrific.
28 women have filed federal civil lawsuits, and there are several more plaintiffs coming and more that are claiming that they were injured in this, but they are not bringing a lawsuit because they're just too traumatized at this point to even go there.
Right.
Here's what the documents say. The first lawsuit that was filed last month for the first 20 women says the males threatened, assaulted, and raped the females over the course of multiple hours. This went on all night long.
And they just looked the other way and allowed it. It's just.
Women were hiding under beds and tables and just trying to be invisible. Women were impregnated that night by rape. One woman particularly who was a virgin, is a virgin, and a lesbian, was raped violently.
It's awful.
And is so traumatized over it that she's unwilling to be able to join a lawsuit because she said her mental health just can't handle it. Women were forced to give oral sex. But the jail claims that a lot of it was consensual. These were boyfriends of a lot of these women that just managed to get a hold of a key and come across, and they were having sex because they wanted to. Here's the
So
thing.
women
It
are in
wouldn't
jail,
matter if
and
they
so
wanted
are their
to.
boyfriends at the same time?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No,
Mm.
not at all. So here's what happened. They pushed a call button finally, and finally they got guards to come to their rescue and get the men out of there. They were immediately punished on the women's pod by losing their dark privileges. So the lights remained on in the female pods for the next 72 hours.
My God. That's
Part of
psychological
losing
torture.
part of losing dark privileges means that they also are placed on lockdown, denied normal privileges, had personal property like pillows, blankets, and personal hygiene items confiscated. And many of the women who were attacked were later interrogated by the sheriff's department and treated like they were the perpetrators. Yep. It's unbelievable that this
Yeah,
happened. This happened last year. We're not talking about a long time ago. This happened in 2021. It's just unfucking believable that this
it is.
happened and that this is still going on. Yep.
I mean, where are the criminal charges for those guards that allowed this? The one that sold the key for $1,000. They
The
sold the
guard
key.
who stole the key is facing charges of trafficking with an inmate, aiding escape, and official misconduct.
They
Where's
need
the
to go
rest
to
of the
prison.
charges? Where's all of the rape charges?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's facilitating rape? Huh?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I guess trafficking that probably is, but my
Yep.
God,
Yep.
absolutely horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could anyone believe this was the first time? Nah, definitely
No,
not. Nope.
sure
And
it
yeah, there
wasn't.
was no woman working there at the time. All men. All men. Yep. True, Cranky. This is Indiana, where they want raped 10-year-olds to give forced birth. Yeah.
That is incredibly fucked up.
We have to talk about these stories because we have to face the fact that stuff like this is continuing to happen.
Yeah.
We can't act like, we're beyond those things these days. We're not at
We
all.
are definitely not. Yeah.
Can you imagine them being put on lockdown, them having their belongings confiscated, them being forced to live with the lights on for 72 hours because they told? Yeah, I guess we can. I guess we can.
Sadly, we can because it's not like it's the first time this shit's happened, but that's horrifying.
No kidding, Aaron. Every complicit male in this case needs to be sentenced to chemical castration. No kidding. Yep. Yeah, the one girl that got pregnant ended up losing the baby, having a miscarriage because of the trauma.
Right.
There were a ton of physical injuries to the women that went mostly untreated. They weren't giving them medical care.
No.
And also, an incredible amount of psychological abuse as well. It's horrifying.
Well, I mean, can you imagine the trauma? I mean, you are trapped. You are
Yeah.
in a cage in that situation.
Yep. Yep.
Man.
Without a doubt. Yep.
Ugh.
So
the way to bring down the room.
I know.
Jesus
I know.
Christ.
Absolutely. So there you go. So stay loud. Don't get silenced. Let's just keep getting loud.
We do. We have to. And you're
Yeah.
right, Allie Fair. We have to vote these jackasses out.
That are allowing this kind of behavior. Yep. Oh, Cammie said she's going to bed. Wait, I've been in bed for 5 days. I'll bet you have.
Okay, I'm so
Thanks for
sorry.
being here. We're gonna go too because I've got to go buy a sublimation system.
Right?
So we'll be back tomorrow night at 7. Nothing has changed. It'll change next week. So with the psychic hour, just same place, same time, normal stuff.
Yep.
7 p.m. tomorrow night, and we are pulling spiritual AF cards. It is that time of the month.
We are. We need it. It's time to get pissed off, and this will be the way to do it.
Yep, we're going there. And we'll tell you about our shattering ceremony that we held the other
Yes,
night.
we
That was
will.
pretty great. Yep.
It certainly was.
Yep, for sure. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Take care.
Bye, everybody.